You are tuned into a special player spotlight interview on the CS Podcast.
Welcome to another episode of the CS Podcast presented by the NUC NFL Draft Bible, bringing you the names that you need to know first. Since 2002, visit NFLDraftBible.com. I'm your guys' host, Chris Shanafelt, and joining the show now for a player spotlight interview is 2016 NFL Draft prospect Nico Watson, running back out of Western Illinois University. Thanks for taking some time today, Nico. Happy New Year. Can you believe that your time at Western Illinois has already come and gone, and now here you are looking for a shot to play professional football?
Oh, man, I can't believe it. I mean, first I want to start off and say Happy New Year to everybody. And my time at Western was a blast, and I'm glad to move forward and see what's next.
Absolutely, and you certainly had a lot of success throughout your time at Western Illinois, and I'm going to take you back quite a few years. I mean, talk about making the decision coming out of high school to attend Western Illinois. I mean, were there other schools that were interested in you? Were you interested in any other schools, and why did you feel that Western Illinois was the best fit for you?
I just like the tradition that they brought to the table. I know the year before I committed, like 2010, and that was the year they went to the playoffs and was on ESPN, and that was just one of the schools I wanted to go to. A lot of schools recruited me as like fullback and linebacker, and I knew I always wanted to play running back at the D1 college level, so Western gave me the opportunity to do that. So I felt that was the best decision I ever made.
Okay, and yeah, looking at your freshman year, Nico, you ran for 485 yards and 3 touchdowns. You actually averaged over 5 yards per carry, so you're certainly making most of every opportunity you got that year. I got to think you weren't really expecting to make an impact as quickly as you did, though, because you were actually supposed to redshirt that first year of yours, weren't you?
Yeah, I was, but injuries happened, and that's just part of the game, and my number was called, and I was ready to go. Even though I knew we had 4 games left in the season and we weren't going to go to the playoffs or anything, I knew that was my opportunity to show what I could do. And I made I made the coaches look good, and I made myself even look better. So me playing the last 4 games of that season basically put me on the mark, and it's the reason why I had the season this year.
Yeah, absolutely. You averaged over 5 yards per carry that freshman year of yours, and kind of like what you were saying, I mean, since then the coaching staff thought it would be best to pretty much feed the beast, and as a sophomore and junior combined, you ran for over 1,100 yards and 6 touchdowns. Now, I see that last year, which would have been your senior year, but you actually redshirted. Can you tell us why you redshirted? I mean, I assume there was an injury there. I'm not exactly sure, so can you tell us a little bit about that and exactly how tough it was to miss an entire football season?
I'm a redshirted for a senior year. I was elected captain, and I had the redshirt because of school reasons, and it ended up turning out to be one of the best decisions I've made. Just redshirt, and it sucked redshirt my senior year, but I mean, I had to get my life on track, and that's what I did, and everything. I mean, I ended up getting to play my senior year the following year, so I mean everything turned out like it should. Yeah,
again, and maybe it was a blessing in disguise because your senior year was certainly one for the record books, to say the least. What were some of the things that you were doing throughout last year with the time off that you had to work on your game? I mean, I'm sure you're limited as to a few things you were doing. I'm not exactly sure if you were able to be with the team as much, but what were some things you were able to do, off the field or during your own time to kind of make yourself a better football player with the free time you had?
Just first starting off as being a better person, just humbling myself. Not being able to play that my senior year, it humbled me and made me a better person, and definitely, I met a lot of friends that I could call friends for the rest of my life through that year that was with me through that hard time, and it made me a better person. So when I got back, it made me focus up, and it made me know what I wanted to do and all the goals I wanted to reach and accomplish. So it definitely refocused me. It made me a better person, and my senior year showed.
Yeah, I mean, coming off of a year with no football, did you ever think that you would have the type of season that you went on to have this past season, Nico? I mean, you were named first team all-conference, which is a great honor in any conference, but the Missouri Valley is the toughest conference in all the FCS, in my opinion, the most talented conference in the FCS, so that says a lot right there. You're able to run for over 1,200 yards and 14 touchdowns, which now moves you to fifth all-time in rushing yards in Leatherneck history. What do you think, what would you say is the main reason for your success this season? I mean, is there any one thing that you can point your finger to?
Just the environment, the winning environment, just the players around me. Everybody was making plays, and then the O-lines had the best year they ever had. So I mean, I got to give all the honor to the boys up front, and made me look good. So. As a year, we did good, went to the playoffs, and it was just a winning environment. And when you're winning, everything seems to get shown in the light. And if it wasn't for the players that we had on the team this year, I mean, it definitely, we probably wouldn't be talking about this. But I mean, when you're winning, everybody loves winning. So I got to give all my accomplishments to the teammates I played with.
Absolutely. And you mentioned a winning environment. I mean, a little bit ago you were talking about how when you made the commitment to play at Western Illinois, you were watching them on ESPN in the playoffs. And this past season, Nico, you made your first appearance in the FCS playoffs. The Leathernecks were able to knock off Dayton in the first round, 24-7, before you guys fell to the number 2 seed in the nation and fellow Missouri Valley Conference team Illinois State 36-19 in the second round of the playoffs. Now I know that you guys would have liked to have gone further into the playoffs, but I mean, talk about how different, if it is in any way, playing in the playoffs is compared to regular season play, and what that opportunity was like as a senior to play in the playoffs for the first time.
The opportunity, I mean, the stage is bigger, so I mean, you got a microscope on you like never before. I mean, you're playing on national TV when you get to the playoffs, so I mean, it gives all the younger guys, all the little school guys a look from scouts, and basically it puts us on a stage where we can show our talents. And that's the main thing about the FCS playoffs, because it doesn't matter what game it is, everybody's watching. And I mean, and it showed. We got to play Dayton on TV, and a lot of people tuned in, and it turned out to be a great experience. And us getting the win at 24-7, and I mean, like I said, like just being in the playoffs is the biggest stage, and we made the best of it.
You guys sure did, and I mentioned that you guys went on to fall to Illinois State in the second round of the playoffs. You guys also battled them very tough in the regular season as well, almost pulled off the upset. Both were very hard-fought games, to say the least. But being a running back, Nico, I'm curious as to what you think about Redbirds running back Marshawn Coppridge.
Oh, he's a great talent. That's somebody that I was motivated by, and I used him as motivation this offseason. I bet everybody did. He's every bit as good as that he says he is. His play was good. He ran the ball hard against us, so I have nothing bad to say about him. He's a great talent, and I hope him the best to his journey to the NFL too.
Once again, he is 2016 NFL draft prospect Nico Watson, running back out of Western Illinois, joining me here on the CS podcast presented by the NUC NFL Draft Bible, bringing you the names that you need to know first since 2002. Visit NFLDraftBible.com. And Nico, throughout your time at Western Illinois, who would you say is the best or most impressive player that you've had to play against? I mean, as I said, the Missouri Valley, man, it's loaded with talent.
The best player I think I ever played against, I would have to say defensive player or offensive player?
Either or. I mean, if you want to give us one of each, that's cool. If you wanted to single it out to one person, that's fine as well.
That I played against is probably David Johnson.
Okay.
Best player I ever played against. I got the chance to see him because he's not that far from the Quad Cities. We're both Quad City natives, and that's definitely the best player I ever seen play at Missouri Valley, in the Missouri Valley Conference.
Yeah, and obviously he's doing big things in the NFL now with the Arizona Cardinals, one of the best teams in the NFL nowadays. And what would you say is the most memorable play that you've made throughout your collegiate career, Nico? I mean, looking back 5, 10, 15 years from now, what will be the first play that comes to your mind when you think about your days at Western Illinois?
Playing Indiana State my senior year, we were down 17 points, and I ended up scoring the game-winning touchdown in overtime to come out with the victory. And just that game period is the game I will always remember, just because we were down 17 and my teammates we still believed that we could win that game, and we ended up coming back fighting hard, and we got the W in overtime, and that's all that matters.
Yeah, that is exactly all that matters, is getting that win. What would you say is your biggest strength as a running back, and what is one thing that you feel that you could still work on?
I didn't work on a lot of things. I got to work on get my weight down, and I feel like I run hard, and just the training's going to take care of a lot of stuff. Because I feel like I got a lot of stuff I have to work on, but I would say out of all the things I have to work on is basically speed, and that's pretty much it. Everything else, like the vision, the strength, the power, I feel like that I have that. And one of the best things I would say that's good about me, I'm a big back that has great feet. So, I mean, I know when training starts, I'm gonna work my tail off, and hopefully they can get me where I need to be weight wise, and get me to the top shape of my life before the draft.
Again, he's the running back out of Western Illinois, Nico Watson, joining me here on the CS podcast presented by the NUC NFL Draft Bible as he gets ready for the 2016 NFL Draft. And your guys' season, Western Illinois, your guys' season has been over for just over a month now. I mean, talk about what you've been doing with your time off and what you plan on doing from here on out until the NFL Draft comes around.
I just been at home, just hanging out with family. Just trying to figure out my next move. Been around the family because you never know when my next time I'll be able to see them. So my plans in the future is to go to Chicago and train at EFT Sports Performance up there, like north of Chicago. I think it's in Highland Park. Mm-hmm. So that's my plan in the future. I plan on leaving next week actually to start my training for that.
Okay, sounds great. And, yeah, obviously they've had a lot of guys go through there who are now playing at the NFL, a few Super Bowl winning champions as well. So, again, EFT Chicago is where you'll be training at. Now, looking at your pro day, I mean, do you have any details as to when and where your pro day will be at? And what kind of numbers would you like to put up or expect to put up?
My pro day is expected to be at Northwestern University. I don't really have a time frame. What is it? I would say it's in March, but I'm just the numbers I set to put up is like I'm not gonna lie to you. I want to put up the best numbers I possibly can. Just me being a big body, it'll look good for me to have a fast 40. So that's the main thing I'm working at EFT, and hopefully that comes to light when it shows all the hard work that I put in at EFT.
Yeah, right on. I mean, and you mentioned, your 40 time, obviously being a running back, mostly, running backs, wide receivers, defensive backs, hell, even quarterbacks nowadays. I mean, that's the one thing they look at most is the 40 time. And you mentioned being a big-bodied running back. I mean, I see the Western Illinois Athletics website has you listed at 6 foot, 250 pounds. Is that correct?
Yes.
All right, I love it, man. I love it. And watching you, I sure know that you are not afraid of contact, and you're definitely capable of lowering your shoulder and running over a couple of defenders. Now, being from Western Illinois, I mean, the small school tag is going to be with you wherever you go. How do you feel about that? I mean, is it something that you embrace, or is it something that you don't really even think about and wish others didn't either?
I definitely embrace it because a lot of small school guys, there's a lot of small school guys in the NFL right now, and I'm not looking at it like it's a negative. I look at it as a positive because I know when I start my training, I'm going to have that chip on my shoulder, just training that much harder just because I'm from a small school and I got to compete against big schools. So I feel like the best thing about being from a small school, none of us guys, I feel like, hit our peak, and I can say that to myself. I feel like I have a long way to get better. And I know with this training up in Chicago, I can prove to people how much better I can get. So I know being from a small school, the main reason why I went to Western Illinois because they had the most draft picks in the FCS. So I believe in Western Illinois, and I believe what I can do as a player. So, when it comes to a small school, I really don't worry too much about that.
Yeah, and you know what? Any added motivation is certainly not a bad thing. Now, we're going to end this interview with something that I like to call the 2-minute drill. Some of these questions will be football-related, and some will just be random questions about pretty much anything. Are you ready to tackle these on, or I guess in your case, Nico, run some of these over?
Yeah, I got you.
All right, cool. First, we'll start off with, what is your favorite TV show and or movie?
My favorite TV show, I would probably have to say Family Guy. I watch that all the time. That's like my favorite show.
Hey, cannot go wrong with that. Cannot go wrong with Family Guy. Who would you say you model your game after? Obviously, being a bigger running back, I got to think it's one of those bigger guys. I mean, first name that comes to my mind is like an Eddie Lacy type guy. I mean, who would you say?
I would say Eddie Lacy, and I just had his name in my mind. He's like the fullback. He plays for Carolina Panthers.
Oh, Mike Tolbert.
I would say Mike Tolbert, Eddie Lacy type of guy. That's me. I think that most defines me.
Okay, great. And if you had a plane ticket to travel anywhere you wanted, where would you go?
Go anywhere I want. I'd probably go to Cali, California.
Hey, and you know what? During this time of the year, you can't go wrong with California either. Now, let's say you were able to run any defender over currently playing in the NFL. Anybody currently playing in the NFL on the defensive side of the ball, who would you like to run over?
Oh, that's a good question. I don't despise the Packers. I mean, I'm a Chicago Bears fan, but I mean, if I was going against the Packers, I'd say India and the linebackers.
Okay, and I'll pick one for you. Let's just go with Clay Matthews, man. Let's just go with Clay Matthews. If it wasn't for football, what
awesome.
career would you like to pursue? And if it wasn't for football?
I just recently just graduated Western with a business degree, so probably going to sales or going to marketing, anything like that. I'll probably say those two things.
Okay. All right. And, of course, congratulations on graduation. And final question for you. It's a question that I like to end all of my interviews with, and that is, if an NFL general manager was listening to this very interview, why should they want the running back out of Western Illinois, Nico Watson, a part of their team?
Because I'm a big body. I could do a lot more than just run the ball. I could block for the quarterback. I could catch out of the backfield. I can do a lot more than what I'm more diverse than most running backs. I could do a lot more than most running backs, and if I needed to play an H-back, fullback type position, I could do that too. So I'm not just one position. I'm a football player. I can play any position I'm asked to do, and that's the main reason why I think I'm a steal.
And I'm sure many coaches, general managers, scouts in the NFL would love to hear that. And obviously, they say numbers don't lie. I tend to disagree with that at times, but I'll tell you what, Nico, film does not lie, and I think you absolutely deserve a shot at the next level in the National Football League. And like I said, that was my final question for you. I really do appreciate you taking some time this afternoon, my friend, and I'm wishing you all the best as you look for an opportunity at the next level.
Thank you. Appreciate it.